You know, we were all born to be the best we can. We were born to be the best we can. But unfortunately, our minds sometimes are sick. And this week we're talking about mental health. And yoga is, for me, the best medicine for mental health. Why? Because the whole subject of yoga is the science of the mind. Sri Patanjali, 3,000 years or more ago, said, when you understand the workings of your mind and you realize that the mind is not you, then you can heal yourself. Carl Jung, the great psychologist, said, if you really want to heal, the only time you can heal is when you touch your superconscious state. You know, we have the conscious mind, subconscious mind, things that you've heard and you believe and so deeply in you that you believe they're true. And then we have the superconscious mind, which people call universe, God, divinity, Jesus, whatever you want to call Mother Mary, it doesn't matter. It's an energy, it's a flowing energy. And for years we have been brainwashed to believe this energy punishes us when we're bad and rewards us when we're good. When I studied this amazing science and I realized the only punishments we get from this is from this world, and the only rewards we get are from this world. That consciousness, that energy is, for me, the God of love. There it is, this consciousness that is in all of us. We were all born for this state of perfection because God can't be a thing or a man, or consciousness can't be. It's energy, it's vibrant energy, it's alive, it's full. And you read all the scriptures, you just have to read all the scriptures. And now science, which is brilliant, and energy. God is that vibrant love. That's why when we feel love, that's why when we do good things, we feel connected, because that is who we are. Original state, all of us were joined together and boom, we all became separated. You know, the Upanishads, a great scripture, says so clearly, just as a fire gives out millions of sparks, so does the Lord of love. I love that. The Lord of love spark out millions of human beings. And the Lord of love is in all of us. That's why, if you just start to remember this, why do people have mental health issues? Why do people suffer addictions? Why does this happen? Because we are not taught the truth. And spirituality is telling us that we are spirit, way beyond what we believe. And the divine energy or consciousness is saying, hey guys, just learn to clean up this act and everything else will work. And the whole science of yoga is about clearing up your mind. You know what it says, you know, in this beautiful book for those who haven't studied it. In Sanskrit, yoga's chitta vritti nirodha. Tadadrasue swarupe vastana. What does that mean? The restraint of the modifications of the mind stuff is yoga. And then the siya abides in its own true nature. Now, wow. Medicine indescribable. Until I heard that, I thought I was my mind. I thought I was my thoughts. So you got your thoughts. Oh, today I think this. No, tomorrow I'm going to do that. And what if I'm stressed out by this? This thought, that thought. I can't do this. Mental health problems. And then you start judging. Oh God, and now we blame God. God is judging me. My parents are judging me. My friends are judging me. My lover is judging me. Judge. Next problem. You got low self-esteem now. You're not good enough. So, you're not fit enough to live this good life. But you are fit enough. Something in you fights back. Mental disturbance. then what happens? Because you don't know you can do something with this, what do you start doing next? Indulging. Anything to make you happy. Let me just be happy. Just let me be happy. Maybe you take drugs. I will cover this messy mind, Oh, I had a really bad childhood. I was abused. I can't take the pain. And so you don't have nowhere to go. You have nowhere to go. Do you see how scary that is? And this is why yoga is so brilliant for mental health issues, because we can direct people. Okay, no, people, you have a body, you have a mind, and you have a spirit, what we call spirituality. That's the study of spirituality. And guess what? When you understand all three, you understand your mission on earth. When you understand your mission on earth, and when you have realized that we all die, because you have to realize that you're not going to be here forever, you will start to help yourself. You will start to help yourself. And this is how I work with people with mental health problems, because they believe it's forever. They believe they can't come out of this prison. And I tell them, you can come out of any prison if you just have to know that there is this force in you, the force that is energy, that is soul. And isn't it great that great scientists today, and if you haven't read them, please do, and doctors, Bruce Lipton is one. He talks about epigenetics. Please Google him. It's all there in the books. And he talks about, and then also Joe Dispenza talks about being supernatural. What the yogis said thousands of years ago, that we are supernatural. We were born to experience this life on that dimension. But because of our mind stuff, because of society, because of all the judgments, you see, all these judgments are man-made. All of us, that's why I love Lord Jesus so much when he says, let you without sin cast the first stone. When they were going to stone the prostitute, in case you've never read the New Testament. I love the New Testament. Let you without sin cast the first stone. And you see, judgments make the mind sick. Judgments make the mind weak. When we stop losing these really great judgments, oh, you're gay, or you're transsexual, you're this, you're that, not acceptable, judging, what is your body doing? Not acceptable. What is your body doing? It's stressing out, because every time you see something you believe is not acceptable, as if you are better than everybody else, you already broke the law of spirituality. What is the law of spirituality? The law of love. You've already broken it. And of course you're going to feel broken if you break this. So what we do in yoga first, I'm starting with the mind first, because for me this is the most incredible practice. When you sit down with yourself and know you are much more than your mind, because it is true. Your mind, you only have to see this. Your mind is connected, all your thoughts, where do they come from? This earth? Is it correct? Your friends, your family, your dinner, your lunch, your shopping, your work, right? Your children. Everything is connected with this earth, correct? So your mind is connected. What happens when you leave your body? Who are you then? What are you then? Because everything you know here, you're no longer here, unless you want to be a ghost and haunt all these people. There are those souls too that think this is forever theirs, and they live in limbo for years and years and centuries. Because we're energy. Energy doesn't die. Science has proven energy does not die. We are eternal. I really cannot imagine that. So that's why I like to imagine this one life, and we do the best we can, and eternity will speak for itself, because every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Science. So I want to make sure that my future is good, and we all can do that. We all can do that. So how do you do that? I mean, it's very hard to tell you in the 50 minutes that I have today, but I can tell you very quickly how you can start. Many of you have already started, many of you started to meditate, and sometimes even when you start to meditate, what happens in time? we forget. We get so muddled in the meditation, so stressed out in the meditation that we forget why we're there in the first place. So it's like a never-ending story. So if you can work from the place where Carl Jung told us to, from the superconscious state, whatever you want to call it, I call it the powerhouse of love. For me, it's available to all of us. Right. Finally, in our generation, this science is proven to work, and we've known it here at the Yoga Center for years, because each one of us here, and I can speak for nearly all of us, have been healing ourselves through the years. We have realized that healing was in our hands. We have been giving our power away, our mental health away to other people. We have allowed the world to control us. We have not lived up to the empowerment that was given to us from the divine God of love. We did not live up to it because of our belief systems, which were put into small boxes of judgment, judgment, judgment. And all along they were telling us, like Lord Jesus said, do not hide your light under the bushel. In other words, you are light. And he said, I am the light of the world. He who follows me will not walk in darkness, but will live in light. What is he telling us? Live like me and you'll be fine. Sri Patanjali, the same. Lord Krishna to Arjuna, the same. Be like me. Don't be afraid of life. You can change it when you learn how to use this wonderful tool and fix your mind. Be your best doctor, be your best psychologist, because nobody will love you more than you. But the secret is, first of all, learn to love yourself. Because if you don't, you can't heal. And how do you learn to love yourself? By developing qualities that you love about others. And that's what I had learned. When I first sat down to meditate, and I thought my mind was clean and good. Oh my goodness. No, it was not true. I heard so many judgments in here. So many. I can't even start to judge anybody. I got to fix this stuff in here first. I got to fix this stuff. Complain, there's so much music. And then, from a place of love and not judgment, please, meditators, from a place of love, not judgment, watch the thoughts come up. And if they're painful thoughts that you can't deal with, say, I'm going to leave you aside for a moment, and I'm going to rise up in myself thoughts that make me happy. That's how you start. Thoughts that make you happy. Because why? We were born to be happy. And you know when you're in love and when you're happy and when you're in peace, you are in God. You are in God. You are, because you feel this life is, even though all the strange things are happening, you don't feel connected to that. You feel like you're floating above it, you know? So work from a place of love. That's where you start. And then the things you don't like about yourself, make a strong commitment. Oh, you know what? I get angry for no reason. You know, a woman said to me the other day, she said, oh, Nalini, I was very sorry to tell her that. Marriage wasn't working. And I said, I'm really sorry. You're doing all these practices, but you haven't got the message. So what's the message? You're still trying to control your husband. You're still trying to control your children. You still think you're right and they're all wrong. She said, am I doing that? I said, I'm really so sorry to tell you. Drop the control, trust. Who are you to tell everybody that they're always wrong and that you are always right? What are you doing to them? What are you doing to yourself? Because you see, you do this wrong, you do this wrong, you do this wrong, you do this wrong, you do this wrong. Do it like me because I know a little bit about yoga. Oh, really? Really? Is that what you want to learn from yoga? I don't want to know you. Do you see what I'm saying? So the mind stuff is what you work for. Mental health. So people have different problems in their minds. They have heartbreak and they think, for example, loss of somebody or heartbreak. They think the pain is going to last forever. It feels like it. I've gone through pain. I know it. And I tell them, 6 weeks, terrible. Maybe up to 3 months. After that, every day better. And it is true. It is a fact. Every day better. Allow yourself to be better. First thing you have to learn, forgive the past. Let it go. Oh, but I can't let it go. Slowly, slowly. Every day. Do it for yourself. Oh, but I love this person. But the person doesn't love you. Let it go. Don't you deserve somebody that loves you? Do you see why you're selling yourself short? Life is so full. And if they don't love you, somebody else will love you more. Don't you deserve it? Why are you crying and losing your time? It's going quick. It's going quick. It's going quick. Tick tock, tick tock. You could be dead tomorrow and you're wasting all the time on somebody who doesn't even care about you. Hallelujah. Why? And if you've lost someone, time heals. I've got my book that talks about it, and hopefully next month we'll have the book launch here. And I can talk about that subject because it is a painful one. It's a different one. And many people suffer after they lose somebody they love. They don't recover because they don't know how to recover. I was so blessed to have these tools. And that's why we get so excited, all of us teachers and committee members here, get so excited to share it. Because then you can help yourself. And when you help yourself, look at what will happen to all the people around you. Just look. If you stop complaining, your whole family will stop complaining. It reflects from one person. And I remember I asked my master many years ago when I started the path. I said, Gurudev, why is it I always have to be the one that does all this hard work? And he goes, oh, because you're the one who wants the peace. Is it worth it? And I go, absolutely. I want the peace before I die. I want to enjoy this world without... I know the world is full of good and evil. Is that the mind is like a mirror. Whatever you think, it's reflected on and it comes back to you. And that's exactly what it says in the Yoga Sutra books. Our minds are just mirrors. So reflected outside to the problems of the world, it will come back to you. Reflected inside, and love will come back to you. That's why the kingdom of heaven is within you. The superconsciousness will reflect to you. In the beginning, you will not see it because the mind is very dark. This is why it takes a long time. So even if it takes 30 years to get it, think every year of your life will just be better and better and better. That's what I thought. It doesn't matter if I'm enlightened or not enlightened. For me, enlightenment is just living a good life. Nowadays, it's all this fancy language. I'm enlightened. And really? You don't look too happy to me. It looks like you're more searching for fame. For me, enlightenment is what my master taught me. Such simple language and perfect instructions from somebody suffering from mental health issues. 3 things you need in your life. Remember this. To be peaceful, to be easeful, and to be useful. When you feel useful, fulfillment. When you feel easeful, your body is feeling happy and comfortable. Peaceful mind. And I thought, this is what life is all about. Keep it simple. And when you want that so much, you really will make the effort to sit down and help yourself first. Love your neighbor as yourself. How can you even start to love your neighbor if you can't even make some time for yourself? So make some time for your mental health every day. Sit quiet. Learn the interesting things that come to your mind. Don't give the negative too much. If you've done something horrible in this world, very easy to go to that person and apologize. That's what I did. I went to every person that I had judged. As soon as 6 months within I started the path mental, I went to them because I wanted to do it quick, get it out of the way, because you don't really want to apologize to somebody who you feel has hurt you so much, right? But I realized with the meditations, there's no good without bad. It takes two hands to clap. So I went to the person who I felt that I really had hurt me so much. And I went and said, I am really sorry if I have caused you pain. I'm really, really sorry. But I want you to know that you too have caused me pain. I am willing to forgive that. Will you forgive me too? The person didn't know what to say. And of course, in time, everything was healed. Do you see? If you say, oh, your fault, nobody's going to hear that. We all come to learn lessons. That person taught me how hate broke my mental health and anguish. If it wasn't for that person, how would I understand about mental health? So I could heal myself by giving this person love and forgiveness. And I healed me by giving them forgiveness. Because if you look at mental health issues, it's all from abuse, it's from fear, it's from anxiety, it's from now. I am seeing more young people since this COVID issue than I've ever seen in my life. From the age of 16 to really 14 to 24, 25. They're desperate because there's nowhere to go in their minds. They don't know how to fix it. So they go to a psychologist. I'm going crazy. So they take a pill. 6 months later, they're not better. And I'm going more crazy because maybe I need more medicine. And 1 year later, I want to kill myself. There's no way out. But there is a way out, and you need to tell people that, right? There is always a way out. There is always a way out. And we need to teach that. So let me go into the body, and then I'll ask you for some questions if you have some. Okay, now the body part of it. This is why we have yoga classes here. Now, if you look at the yoga classes, how they're designed, and Dr. Marla Cunningham works with the University of Virginia, and she's also a disciple of the same master. She told us, that a yoga class, an integral yoga class, which is what we teach here, when you come out of an integral yoga class, what happens? You get DOSE. You know what DOSE stands for? Stands for dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. All the hormones that make you feel at peace. The best medicine ever. When I started 30 years ago, I used to teach Hatha Yoga myself, because I think I was the only teacher then, right? At the temple. Do you remember one time we used to have 50 in the temple in the old days? Yeah. And I had many people come in with mental health problems. But they came, when they started to come, I used to say to them, come to every single Hatha class I gave, which was about 3 or 4 times a week. And they came. And the interesting thing was, within 3 or 4 weeks, they already started to feel new. Already started to feel better. Within 8 weeks, that's 3 times a week they would come. And then they would come to I always talked on a Wednesday, my Wednesday talk, and then they would study. I told them, go home, study this book. Take your Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. Susan Jeffers, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Look here, look there. There was no internet in those days. Read books, or whatever books I say. Read, learn, grow. Read spiritual masters. Read spirit, because they've got the key to happiness. And that's the spiritual side, right? And I noticed the healing started. Then in my own work with my private patients, I started to realize that one of the greatest healers, which is what they have at the end of the class after the postures, is what we call Yoga Nidra. Can we put it on screen? So Yoga Nidra is deep relaxation. This is what studies, scientific studies, and there are the publications, 2015, have shown the effect of Yoga Nidra. The practice of Yoga Nidra activates the relaxation response and deactivates the stress response. This improves functioning of the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems and the endocrine system, glands and hormones. And let me explain to you. Autonomic nervous system. In the past, people thought we couldn't control the autonomic nervous system. What is the system? It's the automatic system, which helps perspires when you're hot, when your heart beats. It just does everything automatically, yawning, etc. Things like that you don't think about. And it also is like when you're frightened, the fight or flight response, or when you're relaxed, right? So the parasympathetic nervous system is when you're relaxed. The sympathetic nervous system acts up fight and flight response. What's happened in our world today? Most people are all the time at that stress level. Why? Because we work very long hours today. Everybody's always competing to be better. It's all about money, not having enough, not being enough, not being. Can you imagine how much stress? In the olden days, they go home, sit down, either read a good book or no light, so they just relax. Walk in the fields, go for walks. Do we do any of those things? Go home, turn on another machine and another machine and another machine and another machine. Oh no, I'm just watching all positive videos, but you are still watching, you are not living. Are you understanding this? Yes, watch positive videos, but more than that, heal yourself. Go for long walks in the quiet. Listen to your mind. Go to the countryside. If you have a good relationship, walk hand in hand with your partner on the grass and just be with them and just make that matter, because before you know it, they could die. Don't waste time, please. What's doing yes, once a week, twice a week, watch a positive video, but do more than that. Go out there, take the earplugs off. Take everything off and just be with nature, be with life. Enjoy the blue skies, enjoy the tree. I had a patient come to see me in Soto Grande the other day, and I said, come and look at my garden after we finished. She was the last appointment. And she just went out, no talking. I said, just sit here and feel. Close your eyes. And she heard the birds singing. It's spring, there's so many birds around. Oh, Nellie, I really feel so well. I feel so good. 1 minute. 2 hours before, destroyed, not wanting to live, wanting to die. Did a deep relaxation, took her to nature, which is a healer, and the nature did the work by itself. She just had to open up. She just had to say yes to life. I can't do that for people. You have to do this for yourself. Nobody can do it for you. No doctor, no nurse, nobody. We can share the tools. That's what we can do. But to do it for you, sorry, you got to do it yourself. And guess what? When you do it yourself, you live a beautiful life. You benefit. You benefit, your family benefit. So that's the autonomic system. And of course, yoga, you learn to control it. And what's one way of controlling it? Guess what? At the end of the class we have breathing techniques. And you can imagine you do this practice 3 or 4 times a day every time you get stressed out. At work, oh my God, where did I put paper? I do it all the time. I have a busy day, got to answer things, see patients, which I love. I love it, but still you get stressed, right? The body will get stressed when you have lots of things to do. It doesn't matter if you love it or not. So just take a step down and I go, I love my work and I don't want to stress about it. 1 minute later, I've got the energy back. Do you know, it takes that fast. We just have to make the time for it. It takes that fast. We just have to train ourselves. Train. It's the best thing to train. You go to a gym. Oh, I don't like gyms, by the way. So sweaty and so smelly. But, it's good for many people. It's good for many people. But, so you train in a gym. Why not train your mind? Train it. Relax, enjoy your life a little. Relax, have some fun. I don't believe we were here not to have fun. So anyway, this is basically in a nutshell what it does. Endocrine system is your hormones, right? And this is wonderful. We talk about women with menstrual periods and premenstrual, kind of like, we go all over the place. Well, men also have moods, especially when they pass the age of 50, they get weird moods. Sorry, do you know you get that as well? Don't worry, you don't, because you meditate. Yes, you know, because you meditate. Anybody else gets moods, men in a room? Not only women, but meditation really, and hatha yoga, really helps PMT and this tension. Okay? It really does. For men and women alike, it's the best medicine. Go to a hatha class, but don't go to one. Go to about at least 8 or 10. And then if you don't feel like doing it anymore, ask your teacher, can you give me a piece of paper? There are lots of videos around. Wonderful. But get an integral yoga class. So the second one, improves your overall health. Wow. Helps with insomnia. 1 hour of yoga nidra practice is equivalent to 4 hours of sleep. So you do yoga nidra, you can only sleep 4 hours a night, no big deal. Can you imagine how much you can achieve in those extra 4 hours? So it increases immunity and the ability to fight germs and infections. I am the proof. When I started this path, I was very severely asthmatic, hay fever, eczema, the lot, ulcers, stomach ulcers. Why? Because I was so agitated, and I wasn't born to be agitated. My nature was never, but I didn't know where I was in life, and I was angry. Okay? 6 months within the practice, medication from 32 different medications, steroids nearly every month. That's why I damaged my knees. My voice box, and also cataracts, created cataracts because of inhalation of medicine, right? All medicines have long-term effects, right? No big deal. At least I lived a few more years, doesn't matter. But within 6 months, medication half. But what was more interesting, eczema totally gone. Totally gone. So I saw eczema's anger. It's anger. I was angry. What had changed by the practice? I decided I don't want to be angry anymore. I want to forgive everyone because I want peace. Gone. And now, the doctors, you're going to have a short life, you're going to have heart problems. I outlived my husband. He always thought I would die before him because I was always hospitalized, at least twice a year in hospital with drips, 3 times in my deathbed. I made it. Amazing medicine. Amazing medicine. I can't speak highly enough of this medicine. Boosts cellular rejuvenation and repair. Yogis stay young. This is rejuvenation. Why? You love, you understand life, you have the whole philosophy of life. You stop being so serious. You start, and because you stop seeing everything as bad, poor me, stop being the victim and say, really? There's nothing poor about me. I'm so rich. I'm so abundant. You start to see all the wonderful things that have happened to you instead of all the horrible things. And when you're happy, the lines go, right? The lines go. They just go. It's so cool. Improves heart functioning by lowering blood pressure and cholesterol. Decreases pain. improves control of fluctuating blood glucose and symptoms associated with diabetes. This is just doing yoga nidra I'm talking about, which is deep relaxation. Just that. Significantly improves anxiety, depression, and well-being in patients with menstrual irregularities and having psychological problems. And this is absolutely true. Yoga Nidra works again and again and again, and with people with anxiety, because they're not used to being relaxed. So manages pre and post-surgical conditions, which is absolutely true. I've worked with people when after ops with this, and increases energy, especially when it's needed most. When you are very, very tired, put on a yoga nidra. I have one on YouTube anyway, healing, deep relaxation for healing. You just put it on, and you lie down, and 25 minutes later, you just relax and just listen. And that's all you have to do. And it really, really does work. And if you don't like my voice, I'm sure there are many on YouTube. So, so long as you do it, that's all that matters, okay? So long as you do it. Transforms thoughts and feelings of separation into a direct experience of wholeness. You know, most people come to me with mental problems because there's an emptiness inside of them. They feel they have to fill a void, and they don't know what that void is. They just really don't know what it is. And I tell them, oh well, it's your spirit talking to you, just haven't been in touch with it yet. And they go, what do you mean by spirit? Then we go into, do you believe in soul? Do you believe in energy? Whatever they believe in, do you believe in force? Whatever you believe in. What runs you? What's the petrol that runs the body? The breath, the heart. What happens when that stops? When you see a dead body, the person is no longer there. What's left? That energy. The filament in each one of us. The filament the yogis describe as the Lord of love, no larger than a thumb, that lives in the hearts of all. That's what they describe. That's the filament. That's string theory. Isn't that interesting? That's quantum physics. Quantum physics is now talking about the dimension of energy fields. This is what Joe Dispenza is talking about, and Bruce Lipton. We've been told for years that your life is determined by your DNA and your genes. They have proven you can change it around through these practices. Empower yourselves, people. This is the whole mental health issue. We need to empower ourselves to know we can heal ourselves. And first of all, we have to look at ourselves before we look at anybody else. And not going to be easy. It's not a bed of roses. I can promise you that. But the rewards are great.